Hey Lise, I'm here at our most recent vacancy and it's not good. It's There's a lot to cover, so let's just start. We don't even get inside of the apartment when I have our first issue, which is this old drywall patch that looks like Hayden did. This is his hallmark, where he just spackled and didn't sand, didn't texturize or finish anything. He just spackled and sometimes just spackled and painted. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a bit. So in here we've got the carpet, which you can kind of tell has a number of problems. Well, first, before we even get in here, this is what the threshold looks like. This is as wide a threshold as you can get. And well, that'll probably fit. Well, I can actually find a wider one, but it doesn't go all the way. The carpet literally just comes up. So that's a problem I could maybe mask with a wider threshold. But either way, I mean, you're looking at even the front door is just scratched to hell. It's just covered in issues. But it's, there's some things that we're going to be able to fix and some things that might be cost prohibitive. So, okay, so the carpet, let's just go over the carpet first, start from the floor, work our way up. So we have, this can maybe steam out. This area looks okay. This carpet is the new kind that we have been putting in apartments. So this is definitely not 10 years old. I think it's newer, but it also may have been maybe one of the first we replaced. So when we started using the new material, this is just sitting there. So we got a lot of ripples, a whole bunch, and then it gets worse when we get over to here. I don't know if this is coming out. This entire area is just awful. I believe this dishwasher leaked and may have caused some of this. But it also, you can kind of see how it damaged this, and it kind of just wiggles around there. It's got front-facing damage. So the carpets, I think, should probably be replaced. There's a number of issues. And then what's also where it gets a little bit worse is this is just some of the cabinetry damage. Let's work our way up to the cabinetry. It's definitely problematic. So this is a small piece that could maybe glue back down, but the front is always going to be like that. Inside of the cabinets, they all look like that. Just lots of wear and tear, stuff just peeling. Some of them just aren't level, or they're, peeling like that. Even just the back. You get more stuff here. This is the worst spot. What we can do is we can call a cabinetry company and maybe have them redone, but I actually think I could maybe find replacement stuff at Second Use Building Materials. I've been going there for fun, and they actually have a lot of this type of cabinetry that I could maybe load up in my truck and buy for real cheap and have it hung up and replaced. I'm going to take a lot of measurements, see what we can do to just sort of find cheap ways to fix it. So, there's another one right there. That just, over time, just happens. I'll put a new kitchen faucet in here, so that'll look nicer. There's a lot of, I'm trying to organize. Okay, so the oven, for sure. Apparently, the tenant had elements that one element sparked, and he got real concerned. So he ordered a bunch of new ones, didn't get a chance to put them in. It's not, it's I guess it's serviceable. It's got a little bit of wear right there. I think with new elements and cleaned up, it might be able to work okay. But it's up to you on if you want to put a new stainless steel one in there. This fridge is way too small for the apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment and this is like a compact refrigerator. And then it's also damaged where you can see how the seal is just hanging on there. It's torn away from the glue. So, and it looks like that's just been taped. That's been taped. It's just really small and very broken. I've been finding a nice new stainless steel refrigerators at Lowe's in the clearance section. And so what I'll probably do is I'll start taking pictures of them when I find them until we maybe find one on discount that's going to actually fit. That'll be a 2-bedroom apartment refrigerator. I mean, you have potentially 4 people living here, and you need to make full use. And if I have to redo these cabinets, I can actually hang them higher so that we can have as much vertical space as we want. Honestly, a really nice tall fridge and freezer with a nice new oven and hood, some new cabinets. It'll be looking amazing. There's potential. It's just a lot. So apparently the heaters still work, but I've been replacing them because a lot of them are old and no longer efficient. I'll show you one that I have to replace in here. This guy. So it's kind of falling apart. This doesn't really latch on there anymore the way that it used to, and you can just see the wires. And these are all like old wire nuts that they don't use those anymore. They're kind of dangerous. So I usually put new wire nuts on, and a nice new heat bar. There is one heat bar that is new. I'll show you that. This guy in one of the bedrooms. That's relatively new. Oops. Yeah, see? So where there are new things, I'm not going to replace them. I'm going to keep whatever works and whatever we can. But I think I'd like to put a new heat bar on this guy because it's old, ugly, and it's probably not nearly as efficient, nor does it have wire nuts that are to code. So I'll probably put one heat bar there, one in one of the bedrooms. The windows. Let's go into the windows here. So a lot of these blinds are broken. They're the Magna kind that it just doesn't go up anymore like it used to. You kind of have to coax it. And they're not pull strings or anything, and then they're also kind of falling apart. They're not, doesn't look like they were mounted right. So you can kind of see this looks like crap. This was the windowsill kind of trim, I guess, but it was installed improperly. It was crooked, and it's because they didn't weigh it down. They just put a bunch of glue and globulates and didn't push it down or anything, so it just hardened like that. And like on one side, like they pushed it down over here, but I mean, if you're not gonna, I don't know who worked on this. This is quite a sight. I'll clean all of these tracks out. They're all just covered in mold. I've also been seeing windows at second use building materials, and I'd like to maybe pick one up for maybe this guy, and we can put one new window in. It needs a new track. This is broken as hell. This is the sliding glass door. I could maybe even find a new sliding glass door. Maybe even put that on there. Who knows? We'll see what we can afford and what we're willing to do. It needs a new screen. This is all bowed and holed. So there's We can fabricate new screens, no problem. But I'd like to start trying higher end things, more efficient things. Like I'd like to maybe put a new screen door in that I get a second use. That would be cool. The window is sort of optional. I'd like to learn how to do them, and since this has the balcony right here, this would be really accessible, and we could probably practice. It's got an awning too, so it's not like even if it did have a leak, you know, it's under an awning, so not a big deal. I don't think it would leak. I'm just saying, you know, low stakes. Okay, so I'll put new thermostats in. The countertops, I think we should have these resurfaced by Kraus, but there's not a lot of countertop. I've been seeing stuff like this at second use, even some marble stuff that's really reasonably priced. So I'll maybe take a look and see if I can just put a brand new counter on that guy, and see what else I have that might match this. It just depends on if they have everything that matches. Some closet problems. So, oh yeah, and then this window's cracked. Show you. See? So like this window, honestly, I don't know how to make that look better. It also doesn't quite close right. It has to do that, and then you have to like lift up and like kind of like, but it's still it doesn't close all the way. There's something wrong with it. The panel's actually coming off. Shit. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a gap. That's just a straight up, there's no window right where my fingernail is. That's just gapped. This whole pane needs to be redone. I can maybe just redo the pane. That might be possible without having to redo the whole window. That's maybe possible. Closet problems. We've got, so at least let me show you what it's supposed to look like. I think because there's actually one complete. So this is the kind of weird way they did these closets. They did a piece of plywood here and then rested the closet top. They did another one here, but it's bowing and doesn't look great. I can redo the closets to the way that they look at 8th Ave. It's, you know, incurs an expense, I guess, but it just depends on what we want to look better and what we're okay with. So the one of the closet problems is, you saw how it's supposed to look. This one has the sheet, the plywood, but it doesn't actually have a shelf. And then this one looks like it was installed by maybe one of the tenants, but it's not really together. And then the side bracket obstructs the plywood that's supposed to have a shelf on it. And yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Whoever did that, I don't know what that was about. But let's move into the bathroom. Okay, so this cabinet has a little damage to the corner here. So I'm gonna hopefully just buy a new piece of mirror that maybe I could just replace that with. Inside is looking okay. It needs to be cleaned up, but there's no other broken pieces of mirror. And then it's resting on top of this, which, you know, doesn't look bad. It's even centered, but the paint up here looks bad. So I'll have to touch that up. Toilet's in good shape. It's even got a little gold flush handle. The bathtub just doesn't really have much of any caulk. You can kind of see it's just been dripping in there, I think. We can replace that, but it looks okay, and we can redo the shower head. But this is confusing. I don't know why. So this is threaded, like something's supposed to go on top of it. This little bolt that's kind of holding it in place, and then this is fed inside. I've never seen that before in my life, but this doesn't actually go all the way back. It's obstructed by the pipe. I could maybe get a new, I think I've seen some conical shrouds, so I could maybe put a conical shroud on there, and we could kind of cover that up. But the backsplash itself is probably original 1970, so trying to back out here and get the focus. This is original 1970, so maybe, you know, we could have Tub Cove come and redo the backsplash. We could take a closer look at that plumbing, maybe get a new fixture in. Or what I could do is I could just clean up the caulk, redo, get a conical shroud, put a new faucet head, new things to make it look good. But then this drain is going to be left like that. And the last time I tried to replace one of those drains, it snapped the plumbing underneath. So if we did that, then we'd have to redo the plumbing. So there's that. And then there's also this, which is a heat lamp. Let me flick it off. So the heat lamp, and it's just missing like a shroud. It's missing a whole cover. And I just don't know why it wasn't given one. So I could try and shop for a little bungee cover. Kind of straps up there and holds up. It just depends on when I can get around to that. There's a lot of work, and not only that, there's holes in the sheetrock. Look at this. This has just been like that for I don't know how long. It wasn't patched right. This is a top floor apartment, so if that did leak, that was from a roof leak. But who knows if that got fixed. This is apartment 8 in building 1. And then there's stuff like this, where it's like this is as front facing as you can get. As a tenant, you're in here. Oh, the light doesn't even work. As a tenant, you're in here cooking a lot, and you just have this real ugly, these ugly patch jobs. This is what Hayden did. He would just putty and paint. He wouldn't try and smooth this out before painting, you know, or let alone hit it with texturizer. He would just putty and paint, and that's just I have to putty knife all of this off and respackle, retexturize, and then repaint. And not only that, but the paint that we have is a slightly darker shade, so if I paint anything, I have to paint the entire wall. Otherwise, you'll see it. And so every little spot we have, like this little bit here, you know, that means I have to paint this entire wall. These over here where a TV was mounted, got to putty that, paint that entire wall. All the trim is quite damaged. Sometimes some of the doorways have this problem, which I think I can buy new door jambs, and I could maybe pull the trim off, put a new door jamb on there, and just maybe remount the door. I think it would make a big difference to actually do the thorough repair on some of these door jambs, just to make it look a lot newer in here. So yeah, there's a lot of problems. I can fix pretty much all of it, but there are some. The last little note I want to put in here is I kind of have to pull this place apart. So I don't know how long this leaked for. There's evidence of leaks. It looks like it was even significant. So what I'm probably going to have to do is pull the appliance out and this flooring up, and the oven and the fridge come out. And then I might as well, if we have to do the cabinets, I might as well just gut this entire place and probably start over. You know, the damage to this stuff is so thorough that I just don't see how we could ever market this again unless I completely redid this kitchen. So, oh man, look, there's all these holes. I don't know, you can't even see it, but okay. Yeah, you see, look at all of these holes in the wall. I have to repaint that entire thing. It's a lot. So, I'm just documenting what the situation is with this apartment, so we have a kind of a before video that I can then film an after video, show you how everything looks. It's just a lot of labor. So hope you're doing well. I'm sorry for the long video. Take care.